Hello, I'm speaking to Darragh Kelly ahead of his PFL lightweight debut against, it was meant to be Dylan Salvador, it's now Chucka Willis. How are you
hmm
doing today?
Good. Just finishing the end of my camp now, and it's been a good one. A wee bit tired now. I'm gonna go for a nap after this, and then get my third session in.
And obviously that change has now happened, where you're now facing Chucka. How long ago was it that you found out that Dylan wasn't able to fight and you're getting this replacement?
Must be about 3 weeks now, maybe 4 weeks. Dylan Salvador he's a Thai fighter, a kickboxer, and he's a very specific style that you have to get ready for and prepare for. So we put a lot of work into getting ready for him, and then it was changed to a guy who is more of a boxer and likes to wrestle. So it flipped the script on its head, but you can't get too caught up in these things. We just got right back to it with a new game plan. So I'm happy enough. As long as I get the fight, I don't really care who's in front of me, you know what I mean? So
Exactly. Exactly. And it has been about 9 months since you last got into that cage. I think the last one was back at the Bellator. I think it was in the London event against
yeah.
Dimitri. How was that for you? Because obviously you weren't able to get the finish, but how was it able to get those rounds under your belt as well?
Yeah, it's vital to get the rounds under your belt. There are people rant and rave how important the experience in there is, and you're always looking for the
Yeah,
finish, but you know it's invaluable to you once you rack it up. So I think I learned a lot from that fight. I was happy with how it went. Obviously, as I said, I would love the finish, but he's a tough guy who's 9-0 and experienced and well rounded. So, and I feel like I won the fight everywhere it went. So I was happy with how it went.
and it does seem like nowadays you've taken that step up in competition. I'm not going to try and devalue the last couple of wins, but you were facing guys who were 2-2, 2-4, and the last two guys are now 7-1, 9-0, and you've been able to come through those tests. Does that just
Mhm.
show you that you are now ready for that? For you are now there. You're not to mess around with. You are the real deal.
Yeah, 100%. There's no denying the first few opponents were, as you said, 2-2. If you the records 3-0, less experienced guys. But I think everyone needs that at the start of their
Yeah.
career. And for me, I feel like I fight best when I'm under pressure. When I think, I feel threatened. There's a guy in front of me who could beat me. I think that's when I'm at my best, and I perform in the high pressure situations. I find usually when there's a name put to me, a guy I'm meant to beat, I almost drop to that level, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think it's when there's a tough opponent in front of me I really show who I am.
It's not as if you get bored. It's like you don't need to put your full bit of arsenal in there to be able to get the win. You're just in there, get what needs to be done, and then you can get out there. Is that what you're trying?
I'm not sure why it is, but something happens when you put a man in front of you who you're a wee bit scared of or scared to take your record, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You up it a gear, maybe it's subconscious, I don't know. Obviously everyone who's put in front of me, I train the same
Yeah.
way. I give it my everything, but something just happens when you're in there against a guy who is capable of beating you.
And obviously, I was speaking to Alfie Davis the other day, and he was talking about that uncertainty in that period between Bellador going out of business and then moving to the PFL. How was that for you to be able to go through making that transition, not being sure? A lot of your friends must may have were experiencing that. There were lots of cuts in the business. How was that for you as a fighter, not knowing the next move?
So that's the game. When you think about it overall, we don't know what's going on. I know this is the PFL developer. That for me was fine, but MMA is a lot of uncertainty as it is. So I think you're more than used to it. Whatever comes your way, you've seen that many things before. It doesn't really affect me too much anyway. So uh, you have to always be on your toes where there's an opponent change, a change in ownership or your promotion, whatever it may be. But now that for me was smooth. I had no issues. You know what I mean?
And I'm guessing the plan for the rest of this year, after you're able to get a victory here, is get one more in the PFL, hopefully at that world stage. And then that is you secured that position in that tournament next year.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm aiming for. And there's been a few things said where that might be the case. So, I go out and get the job done here, get another win before the end of the year, get a big name, and yeah, cement my place.
And how much is that for you, knowing that they value you, that they are starting to talk about this is the plan for you. We are planning on getting you in that tournament. We'll keep you active until then, and then we can, as long as you do overcome these tests, you will be able to get in there.
Yeah, I really like that because it's putting the ball in my court. It's up to me
Yeah,
as long as I keep winning and you know get the job done. I keep performing. That's the way it's gonna go. So I like the way they put it to me. It's straightforward. You know what you have to do. And I think that's what'll happen.
and what would you do? Like hypothetically speaking, you do go out there, you get in that tournament, you do win that money. What's the first thing you're doing with that cash?
I don't know. Um, well, a house first and foremost. Anyway, we all need one of them. And I might go a bit wild then with if you did win the half mil, I might blow 100 grand. I wouldn't be the smartest boy with it, like, but no, I don't know. It'd be life changing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and I think that's what fighters are really saying about like these cash prizes in PFL with their thing, Cage Warriors with their thing. You have that bonus as well as a title shot. Is that while the title shots not are good, you are that doesn't really help you in life. It is all about at the end of the day, it is all about the cash, and it is about being able to afford the things that you do, the trainings that you do that isn't cheap. You have family to
Hmm.
support. At the end of the day, it is all about the money.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's prize fighting. Um, I don't really see myself as a martial artist. I'm
Yeah.
just a fighter. So I'm fighting for money. And at the end of the day, I don't want to be paying rent the rest of my life. So, I enjoy fighting, but we need to get paid. So that's what I'm in it for.
I know we kind of touched about it last time when we were speaking ahead of your last fight against London. Now, Irish MMA, it was starting to come up, have that boom period. However, it's now just seemed to have just expanded even further. You have Ian Gary, who overcame his loss against Rachmanov with the win against Padres. You then have Will Fleury. He's now the double champ. I think he's targeting to become a triple champ in Octagon.
Hmm.
And then you also have the Cage Warriors guys who they sold out the show the last months ago. They've already planning back to come back there in September, doing their thing in
Hmm.
there. It just seems like everything is just coming together. And for PFL, you have got Carl Moore who are doing your stuff in there.
Hmm. Yeah, well, just it speaks volumes, doesn't it, to the level of Irish MMA? And I think the pedigree was always there, but I think it comes in waves, and we're
Yeah.
we're on the way up now, and I think this is going to be the next wave to show the level throughout, and it's already happening, as you mentioned, like with everyone there. You have Paul Hughes right at the top of Division Two, and I think he's world class. So I think everyone else is coming up, and we're all doing our part to show the level of Irish MMA.
And how big and how important step was it with because also you're at SBG was that FBG was able to kind of fix that relationship with Cage Warriors because they did have that little back and forth. The FBG guys weren't fighting on Cage Warriors. However, they have now started to mend that relationship, and you're having these fighters now compete on this stage.
Yeah, it doesn't really mean much to me. Like I don't really care, but I think it's a good thing in general. Like if you have more shows, more options, more routes to go down and progress your career, can only be a good thing.
Now you are got the nickname the Moville Mauler. How did that come about?
I think I'll change that. I couldn't be bothered with that no more. That was Jordan Fury put it on me, so I
And
just
you
ran with it.
and you wanting to change it? Is there any preference just now, or you're just waiting to see what comes up at that time?
Nah, nah, no preference. Yeah, it seems kind of childish to me now that anyone mentions it to me. I'm like, oh yeah.
It was something that happened a few years ago. Let's just forget.
Yeah,
I'm just Darragh Kelly.
yeah, exactly. Go more towards that direction, like, you
And
know.
what with your opponent, how do you like see that fight playing out?
Yeah, he's very experienced. He's got, if you combine his pro, I think he's 22 pro fights.
Yeah,
If you combine that with his amateurs, he's got 40 something. Then he's got 20 something professional boxing fights. So, the guy's very experienced. And, as I said, he's more of a boxing wrestler kind of style. He's very well rounded. He's tough. And I think the way he strikes is kind of unorthodox. So I think he's a tricky guy, but I think I have a few things up my sleeve to get the job done with him.
and if you're able to go in there, he was just going to be that standing target. You get out there, whatever you want. What would be your highlight reel knockout?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it would be a knockout. Would be my if I could end the fight anyway, it'd be a knockout because I haven't got a knockout yet. I'm 17 fights deep, so you know, a clean knockout. Left hook.
A left hook. And do you feel like because Chuck likes to stay in that standing preference, do you feel like that opportunity will be there to be able to secure that first one?
To secure what? Sorry, the knockout.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, in an ideal world, we'll go in and we'll knock him out. But I'm not caught up in trying to do this or trying to do that. Like, I think that one of the things that separates me is that I'm able to find a way, no matter what. Like, if plan A, B, or C don't work, I've got D. You know what I mean? I'll always find a way to
yeah,
get the job done. So I'm not too caught up in one plan. I'll get the job done, and if it is a knockout, I'm more than happy. But even if it's a decision win, fuck it, like.
yeah, exactly. And do you feel like that's do you like to be part of that discussion with your coaches to be able to come up with these plans? Or do you kind of leave that to the coaches? They'll come in, they'll just tell you the plans, and then you can follow it.
No, I'm part of it. The whole camp. I'm always talking to them things that I think could work. They'll tell me if it's a good or bad idea, what they think, and we just bounce off each other. So
And do you feel like that just helps you in that improvement because you are being able to see this full hand? You're not just go in there blind. You're not going in there relying on your coaches. You're going in there being like, I've seen you do this in the tape that I've seen.
no, I think it's very important. Like, why wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean? If you can learn as much as the plan as you can, there's no point in going in blind and just you may as well understand the plan rather than just following it. So.
Yeah. And how are you going to be celebrating this one?
So me and my girlfriend we're gonna go to Nashville. Um, I think it's like about 10 hour drive, so we're gonna go there for a week. And then my wee brother is fighting the following weekend in Belfast. So I'm gonna come home for that and hopefully be celebrating that night with him too.
Exactly. And how is it being able to be a fighting family? Like you're saying, your brother's fighting in Belfast coming up. How's it being able to have not only just have that bond of being brothers, but being fighters as well?
No, it's great. It's great. I can help him. I've a bit more experience than him, and I can teach him the mistakes I've learned along the way. So I think that pushes him forward. But it's good both doing the same thing, training in the same gym. Spend a lot of time with him. Um, and obviously we're going through the same thing, so we can both relate to it. It's great having him along for the journey. Yeah.
And what do you feel like the toughest part of fight camp actually is?
I'd say it's probably the diet. Diet maybe the hardest.
And do you bring anyone to try and help you with that, or are you know what needs to be done, you know your body, so you can just manage it yourself?
Yeah, no, I've got a nutritionist. The last probably since I turned pro, Yannick McGee. So he sorts everything. Now he makes it a lot easier, so I shouldn't be complaining too much.
And do you feel like that just takes one thing that you don't really have to think about too much? You'll leave it to your nutritionist
Mm-hmm.
to be able to get that diet sorted, to be able to know what to put
Mm-hmm.
in you, and then you can just handle the fighting.
I think we have enough to think about, you know what I mean? As many
Yeah,
things as you can put off to someone else, the better. You can just focus. Um, nothing to stress you, so I think it's very important. Any slight wee edge you can get, take it.
exactly. And obviously, with the tournament, it is happening while on that card while you are fighting. How do you see that tournament going?
Being honest, I haven't looked too much into it. Um, I seen the Russian guy finished Chikese, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he's
And that was impressive.
facing Kevin Lee next round.
He's fighting Kevin Lee.
Yep, the guy who was meant to fight and pulled out, and they've brought in Kevin Lee as the replacement.
Right, okay, well, that's interesting. Like I hope Kevin Lee gets the job done because he was one of my favorite fighters a few years ago. So I didn't know that. That's cool. Now been on the same card as him.
Yep, after it, you can go and share some thoughts, be able to speak afterwards.
Get my photo with him.
Be one of those like fangirls, just be like, Kevin, come here, come here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, fuck it.
And besides Kevin Lee, was there any other fighter that you were a big fan of?
Colby Covington, big fan of him. Also like George Masvidal, Cody Garbrandt. Yeah, obviously McGregor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you said, what will you made some mistakes back in your past? If you were giving some advice now to the fighters coming up, what would that advice be?
I said the main mistakes I made was overtraining and undereating. So, know when to pull back because you always think that more is better, but it's not. Like many times I ran myself into the ground and, you put yourself out make yourself sick for a month and you can't train to the same rate. And, undereating at the start, I didn't understand anything about my diet, nutrition. I didn't understand how much protein I needed, how much carbs, how to fuel. So, if you can, do your own research. You've got AI and things like that now, so there's no real excuse. But if you can afford it, get your own nutritionist, and they'll make life easier. And listen to the body, know when to pull back.
Exactly. And thank you for coming on today. That was great. Is there anyone you're wanting to shout out or anything else you're wanting to add?
Nah, I'll leave someone out if I start shouting names out, so I'll just leave it.
Well, you guys know who you are. Make sure you guys tune in on the 20th of June. You can see Darragh get another victory and move up to 8-0. And
Hmm.
we can't wait to see you next year be able to compete in that lightweight tournament. Thank you so
Yeah,
much for coming on.
nice one, Scott. Thank you.